Yes, let's do this introduction. So, hello everyone, and oh my goodness, it has been what seems like forever since I have done a hot AF podcast, and I am so excited tonight to welcome my beautiful sister, Dr. Angela Grayson. She's a holistic healer. Her company is Embodied Wisdom Institute that she's representing. And I am so excited to unpack this evening with her. And goodness gracious, you are about to get some gems because not only are we doing a first podcast in a long time, but we are catching up. So we're going to be unpacking a lot of things tonight. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. Whew, that's heavy right there in itself. That is a lot. The suitcase is full on that topic. So, Dr. Grayson, I want to welcome you again. You are no stranger to the Pretty Moody podcast. And can you just tell the audience a little bit about yourself, if you can condense it, because I know it's a lot. It's big, big.
Thank you, my sister. Yes, so I'm Dr. Angela M. Grayson, and my newly formed organization is Embodied Wisdom Institute. If you've seen me on previous podcasts, then you probably heard me say that my business was Good Food Expressive Arts Counseling and Psychotherapy. I have since retired from doing therapy, but I'm still a therapist. Um, and I am focused more on community partnerships like this one with Sherelle and Pretty Moody Foundation, and really wanting to have more opportunities to spread the word about the importance and significance of mental health in our community. And also talking a lot about ancestral wisdom and intuitive knowing and knowledge, like the things that we just know, but we don't know how we know it, right? And so that's really what I've been up to. And I cannot wait to talk about how that also intertwines with mental health and menopause and yeah, all of the juicy goodness as me and Sherelle catch up because we, like she said, listen, this suitcase is popping open, okay?
Yes, it
It's not
is.
even getting through TSA checks right now.
It's busting at the seams. Yes, so it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I mean, you touched on a couple of things that you are involved in. Um, why do you feel that it's so important for us to have this awareness and this month signified around mental health?
Oh, I love this question. It's important, particularly for women, for Black women, and in the Black community, because we kind of leery and we kind of like, I don't want to tell people my business, or I don't want to tell people that I'm having these particular symptoms, whether it's depression, anxiety, um, mood swings, hearing voices, whatever the symptoms are, because we don't want to be labeled crazy, right? So we keep it to ourselves. We suffer in silence when there is like really good, relevant help and support available. And that's the key is like finding the right fit for you, finding the therapist or the counselor, or you know, even Sherelle. I know you hear a lot of stories like and even in the salon, because that's where we go. We go to the salon and the barbershop and the church. And so really, bringing it full circle back to the importance of taking away the stigma that mental health has in our community and the importance of getting the help we need.
Yes, that is so powerful right there because we are labeled crazy for
Mm-hmm.
the feelings and the emotions and the things that come, especially in midlife. I mean, all throughout life in general,
Oh
but
yeah.
especially when we get to midlife, it's like you're feeling all of the all of the things, all of the crazy things that, you
Right.
know, gives us that label like, oh my God, here they go, they tripping again, or they're,
Mm-hmm.
just crazy, and a lot of times we're dismissed, and I
Mm-hmm.
love the fact that you said that we don't want to acknowledge those things because of like the embarrassment and the
Yeah.
stigma, that surrounds it. And that's why I love you and I love the work that you're doing because it's like we're ripping those mask off and we're like, nope, let's address this. Let's
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge that, yes, we are going through some things, we're dealing with some things, but there's help, there's
Right.
support, and there's
Right.
resources. Um, and you are doing this dance therapy
Yes, that's
that
a big
has my
part. Big part.
attention. Let's unpack that. Like,
Yes,
first of
big
all,
part.
when I learned when we met a while ago that you were a dance therapist, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, that's a big deal. I had never heard of dance therapy before. You were like the first person that brought it to my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And you went to Drexel, right?
Drexel. Yeah.
That's where
Mm-hmm.
you got your training there. I mean, it's how does that first of all, dancing just makes you feel good anyway. Like
Exactly.
it just
Exactly.
makes you feel good. When you can't dance, I remember you said this, you can't dance mad. Like nobody's dancing mad.
Right.
Right? So how does that play into our mental health and how do you use that as a tool?
I love talking about dance therapy. Don't get me started. You already know this conversation is about to, yeah, oh yeah. So, yes, I'm a board certified dance movement therapist and I do dance therapy groups. Actually, I am doing a spring cohort right now with a colleague at the Wilmington Ballet, which is another community partner that I have. So, like I said, I'm all about these community partnerships. And
Yes.
dance therapy is really about releasing tension, releasing stress, clearing your mind because everything that you think is mental is actually physical in your body. Like like any kind of ailment you have, any symptom that you have, any repressed emotions that you have, even joyful emotions, they're all held in your body. And your body actually sends a signal to your mind and not the other way around. People think your mind is sending signals to your body. No, that's not how it works. It actually goes from the bottom up and not from the top
Wow.
down. Yeah. And so dance movement therapy is spiritual, is cultural, is relational, is social, is personal, and it really opens people up in a way that verbal therapy and talk therapy takes too much time to do. So the time that it takes somebody to really get to a place where they're addressing something just in talk therapy, you can do it in a fraction of the time in dance therapy because your body has been holding that story for so long. And when you release it in dance therapy, either individual sessions or groups, you have, I mean, just the release of it is, like I said, it goes through all of your body and your mind and your emotions and it just all comes out. And I just love holding that space for people because like I said, most people don't even realize that they've been holding most of the things that they hold until we start moving and getting it out. And don't get me wrong, it does have the word dance in it, but it's not about like trained choreography technique. It's really about how your body naturally wants to move to unblock something that you've been holding on to in your body. So it's nothing to, has nothing to do with choreography or learning steps. It has more to do with how your body needs to move to release whatever the thing is that you've been holding.
I'm glad you explained that because I was about to ask you, like, is there like a line dance or some, some step like the wobble, like what, like what you got to do?
Right. And
So
that's
I'm
what
glad
people
that,
think.
yeah, I'm glad you
Yeah.
explained that because that gives a lot of clarity on like,
Mm-hmm.
no, your body is just the way that I am envisioning it is your body is just going through like this breakthrough and just going
Mm-hmm.
through like all the steps that you need. Look at me. I'm over
Right.
here like I'm
Look at
going
you.
through
So you
all the
already
steps. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get in one of those classes. Yes, to get those things out because number one, I feel like, and I know you touched briefly on this earlier, as women, and especially Black women and
mm-hmm.
women of color,
Mm-hmm.
we suppress and just hold
Oh
on
yeah.
and carry so much. And I believe that a lot of it was taught, to us.
Hmm.
Like that we had to hold stuff in. We had to just
Right.
deal with it. You have to just show up. You gotta suck
Right.
it up.
Right.
That whole the strong black woman thing that's in the trash. We're not doing that no more.
Listen, that thing has been passed down from generation to generation, and we need to lay her to rest
That's
because she is exhausted.
that
Okay.
is exactly right. We are tired, yes, of doing all the things. Like we should be able to. I know everybody is was big. I don't know if it's still going on now about the soft life. People were
Hmm.
talking about I want to live in the soft life. Like we were never really able to live in a soft life because we always had to be in
Right.
survival mode.
Right. I
Um,
want to talk about that for a moment. I mean, yeah, the idea of the soft life sounds good, but that will actually send your body into shock if you've been in, the strong black woman mode your entire life, and all of a sudden you want to like just lean back into the soft mode. You have to ease into stuff like that. You can't jump from one end of the spectrum all the way to the other. That will definitely be a shock to your system. Um, our body carries the story. Our body has a voice, it has something to say. And so taking the time to listen to it, soft life sounds good. That might not be what your body wants. You just jumping on this bandwagon because it's the end thing.
right.
And people on social media making it look all easy, like,
I was about to
oh
say TikTok.
girl,
You go
right. Oh
TikTok,
girl,
soft
you
life,
you
soft life.
need you need to do this soft life and soft like this, soft like that. Like, what does that even mean to you? Not
Right,
what you think it means to somebody else. Like that might be her life, that might be her experience, but what does that mean for you? Soft life might mean, you go to bed at the same time every night and you're not up,
right,
into the wee hours of the morning, only getting 4 hours of sleep. So
right.
yeah, so really kind of taking a step back into what would that actually look like for you and how will that benefit you for your own mental, physical, spiritual, social, relational health.
That's good. What are some of the emotions that you have seen people release in dance therapy?
Ooh. um, Lots of things happen. I love this group so much. It has been such a joy to transition my business focus to doing more, not only dance therapy, but even just creative arts therapy. A lot of the emotions get released. There's a lot of playfulness that comes up, a lot of shame. Seen a lot of shame come up. A lot of guilt comes up, embarrassment, fear. People are really releasing trauma, like childhood trauma stuff comes up. Abuse comes up as well. Let's see. I mean, probably the most impactful thing that I see come up for people is shame. Like either and this is directly related to menopause as well, like the body shame and the
Hmm.
comparison. That's like the first thing that comes up because they see the other women in the group and they're like, oh, I can't move like her, or I'm not the same size she is and she's able to do this or do that, or she's able to wear her arms out and my arms I don't like show them out.
Right.
So all of that comes up in the group. um,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
And
that's
it,
amazing. It's like you think of something like dance and you don't equate it to the therapeutic stance that it takes, like
mm-hmm.
when you're involved in it, like on that level,
Yeah.
um, and the breakthrough that is happening. I think that's so amazing because we have to find a way to release those traumas,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so that we can get to, a better place mentally. Menopause alone, when you speak of menopause and, the body shaming and that we do to ourselves. It don't
Right.
even have to come from, other people.
Right.
Um, but it really can wreak havoc and take a toll
Mm-hmm.
on you mentally. What are some of the things that you have seen women um, in menopause? Because a lot of times people are not making it relative that when you're in menopause, like you're going through a mental
Mm-hmm.
thing as well. Like there's a connection, with your mental just being transformed as well. You're not the same as you were
No.
before, and you're having to take on, this new body, this
Mm-hmm.
new mind, this new mindset. Who am I? Who am I today? Who was I
Right.
5 minutes ago? Like just
Right.
and giving yourself that grace, because I think that we're harder on
Mm-hmm.
ourselves already,
Right.
but trying to find that reason to give ourselves grace when we're
Right.
dealing with this menopause and mental health issues, because again, it's not talked about enough. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. And you hit a lot of the key things, giving yourself grace, allowing yourself, some time for the adjustment. I hear women a lot of times say, I just want to be my old self. And I'm like, honey, I'm sorry, she's gone. And, and we have to really grieve that old self. It's like, how
Right.
can we embrace who you are becoming? So I talk a lot about becoming. And so that I'm ingraining that in
I
their
love
mind,
that.
like we're always becoming, we're evolving, we're growing still. It's like you're not the same, even if you could be that person, it's going to be different because now you have different knowledge, you have different awareness, you have different information about yourself that you didn't have then, that you have now. And so, what can we do with this new information? How can this new information serve you better? And so, we look at it from a strengths perspective. And okay, this is where we are. It may not be glamorous and beautiful. It may not be what you thought it was, or you had no idea what it was. And it just, all of a sudden, bam, it snuck up on you. And you're like, wait
That's
a
right.
minute.
Like, what is happening here?
Right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And so always talking about, becoming and making the adjustment because I think that's significant and it's important in terms of giving ourselves grace and also permission. That's huge for a lot of women is give yourself permission to be who you are right now, to grieve who you were, and to embrace who you're becoming.
I love that. I love that. Most of the time when I coach women, that is one of the number one things that come up, because
Mm-hmm.
we're so attached to the I used to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And you're not her anymore. She's gone. And from my perspective, I don't even want her back,
Right.
because once I figure out, oh, okay, I got some skin in the game here and I
Right.
can use it. I'm gonna use it.
Right. Oh
Like
my
the things,
goodness.
and I mean, I tell my husband, I'd be like, is he like, oh, sometimes you used to, you still, she gone, baby.
Right.
She not
Like,
here. Stop looking for her. She is history.
right.
You better get to know this new one and be glad that you got different versions, because
Right. And
yeah,
be ready because this one might not be around that long.
and be ready, because who knows, like I said, from 5 minutes to the next 20, like who
Hmm.
knows where we're going to be. But I think that it's important. I love the becoming, because we are
Yeah.
naturally evolving, and
Hmm.
it's happening. Like, it might not seem like it's gracefully, but it's a blessing to be able to reach these different phases that
Right.
we're going
Right.
through. So we have to learn to embrace that and embrace these changes. And I always say, get to know the woman that you are becoming. So I love the fact that you're saying becoming
Hmm.
and you're instilling the
Yeah.
becoming, because we are becoming a different version of ourselves. And it's important that we nurture her, that we fall
Hmm.
in love with her, that
Right.
we listen to her, that we
Hmm.
educate her, and do not deny her at
Oh,
all.
goodness.
Like
Right.
that, do not deny her at all, because she fights
Right.
back.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, we talk about doing meditation. That's the importance of meditation, getting into that space where you're getting to know you. It's really not about meditating for the sake of it being trendy. That's your time to get to know you. Like, listen to your inner voice, listen to your inner thoughts, and really kind of sit with what comes up and write it down. Keep a journal. Always keep a journal so you can
Yes,
write down what comes up. And so when you go back to read the journal and revisit it, you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. Because you might not get it in a moment because with the
that's
brain
right.
fog and everything
That's
else,
right.
it
You
might
might
not
need some
connect.
time to process.
Listen, it
Exactly.
might not connect right then and there. So,
I love that. I love that. Well, hold on one second. We're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, I want to unpack the meditation because I think a lot of people have different misconceptions around
mm-hmm.
meditation. And I really want you to unpack that because it's a powerful tool that I don't think we're using enough. But give us 1 second and we'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Track your symptoms, identify patterns, celebrate wins, and become your own best advocate. Created by menopause coach and advocate Sherelle Flagg, this journal is more than a notebook. It's a tool for transformation because menopause isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of your next chapter. Pretty Moody Menopause Journal, available now at prettymoody.com. Empower yourself, empower your menopause journey.
Okay, we are back, and as I said before, we're going to unpack this meditation because a lot of us are walking around, I believe we're thinking, and we have misconceptions around
Mm-hmm.
what meditation is. It's supposed to look a certain way, it's supposed to be a certain way, and what the benefits are. So I know that was a lot what I just said, but can we start with how do you view meditation? And how do you perceive it being used so that it can be a benefit to us?
Thank you for this question. Meditation is not. Let me tell you what it's not first. That's the easier piece. Meditation is not about you quieting your thoughts, getting still for and sitting still for 30 minutes to an hour. That's impossible. We're not even going to put that out there. We're going to knock that down right now. That's not what it is. First of all, you can't quiet your thoughts and you can't stop your thoughts from coming. We have over 60 million trillion thoughts a day. They're always going to come. Meditation is really about allowing the thoughts to come up and not focusing on them, because once you start focusing on them,
Mm,
that's what breaks your concentration. So if you're new
that's
to
good.
meditation, my recommendation is to either pick a keyword that you focus on that brings you back to center. So, because when your thoughts drift, you need something to bring you back. So, if you're, say, for example, your keyword is love. So, you're trying to sit and, focus on love and all the different ways you show love, receive love, have love around you. Your mind's drifting on, what am I going to have for dinner? Oh, come back to love. Right? So, the idea
Yes,
is the idea is not to stop the thoughts, it's to not pay attention to them or give them attention in that moment while you're meditating. You can meditate for 1 minute and that will be plenty, because 1 minute seems like eternity when you're trying to sit and
you are
just kind of
absolutely
be
right.
with your thought. So we're going to start small. Start small, pick a keyword, and keep a journal, like I said, because in the process of meditation is where we get that ancestral wisdom that I was talking about, that inner knowing. That's when those things come up. When you are not running around busy all the time, when you're not caught up in all of the distractions and all of your to-do lists and all of your responsibilities, and you're taking intentional time for you to sit with you. That's all meditation is really about, taking that intentional time for you to sit with yourself and to be
I
open
love
to
that.
listening. Yeah. So people make it like, oh my gosh, I need to learn how to meditate, but I don't know if I can sit still for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. You're not supposed to, especially not starting out, because that's a long, long, long time. Like I said, 1 minute, start with 1 minute and, and then kind of add on from
Build
there.
up. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that because you're right. Most of the time when people hear meditation, even myself, it was like, oh, you have to be sitting for this long. And I'm like, first of all,
Mm-mm.
I am all over the place. period.
Yeah.
Like without even meditating. Like you said, what am I cooking for dinner? Oh my God, is the stove
Right.
on? I mean, and first throw menopause in there. It's like I can be doing something and forget what the heck I was doing and start doing
Hmm.
five, six other things.
Right.
So yes, I was actually intimidated by meditation because
Hmm.
I had the preconception, like what you said, like I have to sit for
Yeah.
this long amount of time and I just can't do it. So I'm
Mm-mm.
so glad that you cleared that up and having, a word that brings you back to center is just
Hmm.
beautiful.
Yeah, and
Because you
you
can
don't have
just,
to sit. You can do walking meditation, you could do movement
oh, that's
meditation.
beautiful.
So yeah, so even the idea that you have to sit with your legs crossed and your hands in, like you don't even have to do any you
See,
don't
y'all,
even
this
have
is
to do
why we
any of
need the
that.
expert. This is why we need the expert. That's right. Give us the facts because
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah, it's
I
like I said,
love
it's
that.
just your time that that you spend with you. So you could take a walk in nature, which is probably the most preferred because you get multiple benefits from that anyway, from just being outside, getting some air,
Yes.
being in the sun, being, in the greenery. That's already going to do a lot for you mentally and physically and emotionally anyway.
I
So
love that.
yeah.
And what are some of the benefits we get from meditating?
Benefits from meditation include um, first of all, ability to bring yourself to a peaceful state, which we know is hard for a lot of
Yes.
people. So if you could
Yes, it is.
bring yourself to a peaceful state, slows down your heart rate, which not like all the way to like to the point you falling asleep. But that's also good if you have anxiety, because if you're able to slow your heart rate down enough to just kind of be settled in yourself, you can do that when you start to feel anxious or when you start to feel a panic attack coming on. So that's another reason why a lot of folks talk about meditation in terms of supporting your mental health. It's also just good for blood circulation. It's good for your muscles. It's good for um, even your five senses, because we take in so much from everywhere all the time. Stuff is coming at us all the time. And so just being able to just have that dedicated time to say, not right now, not right
Yes.
now. I'm just gonna, yeah, take this
I
time
love
for
that.
myself.
I really love that. And I have experienced, and I know we talked about this in the past. Go back and watch the podcast with us on the menopause anxiety because you dropped some
Yeah.
gems in that podcast. I definitely experienced, and I never had anxiety
Mhm.
before menopause. And I was like, what is going on with me? Like,
Yeah.
this is crazy because it would just come and
Hmm.
I didn't know what the heck it was because I never experienced it before. So having a tool like meditation to help you with that and the panic attacks. I know women that have had the heart palpitations and pause and that
Hmm.
end up leading to, a panic attack. So we need to hear about these tools that we can use, like when we're
Yeah.
experiencing,
And it's
these things
something you can
in
do
menopause and
anytime.
outside menopause. That's
Hmm.
right. I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
also
Yes.
regulating your regulating your breathing. Right, you hear a lot of people. Oh my gosh, if I hear one more person talk about regulating your nervous system, it's like, do you even know what that means? But even like regulating your breathing, like things that you can actually feel. And I tell people, yeah, all the time, pay attention to your breathing. Like when you're talking about certain things, sometimes your breath gets short and you're hyped up if you're talking about something exciting, or you hold your breath if you're talking about something that's painful. And
True.
so paying attention to your breath is also part of the meditation practice. Like what is coming up for you, or what are you noticing that's happening in your body, not necessarily in your environment, but what's happening in your body. And that's part of that slowing down process as well.
That's good because we don't pay attention to what's happening in our bodies. Like we really
Mhm.
don't. Like we will go through, as my grandma used to say, 10, 11 different things. 17, 11 different things
Right.
and that's happening in your, but you're not paying attention to it because you're really like you just going through the motions and you on to the next.
Right.
So we got to
Yeah.
learn how to step back and acknowledge, okay, this is happening and I
Mm-hmm.
need to do something about it. And I have the tools that I
Right.
can use to do something about it.
Right. It's not costing a lot of money. I don't have to go to an appointment to do it. These are practices that you can do on your own anytime, in the car, at home, at work, wherever you are, at the grocery store. Like nobody knows that that you're
That's
doing it,
right.
and
That's right.
it's personal. It's your own personal practice.
I love it. I love it. Now I want to get into some of this generational. Whew. You mentioned earlier, did you say generational intuitions?
Hmm.
What the heck?
Right. It's like how, like, something, like but you don't know how you know it. And that's that is generational intuition. Like it's down through your family line, it's through your lineage. Um, and it happens out of nowhere because you're just having a conversation and somebody asks you a question. Um, and you're like, oh, yeah, yeah, because I remember when, or I heard about that. And you're like, I didn't hear about that, or I don't remember that. But your spirit remembers it, right?
And it's so matter of fact.
Your soul remembers it because it's
Wow.
familiar. Because if you think about, people talk about bloodlines, and the way that bloodlines are connected is through the soul. And so the soul imprint from your great, 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 great grandparents all the way down to you have all of the knowledge that they had. And we don't think about that. And that's how we know things
What?
that
Oh,
we don't think that we know.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Another first with you. I have
Yes.
never heard that before. I mean, of course, yes, like you said, we definitely talk about, the bloodline and
Mm-hmm.
we hear about generational curses and things like that. But this side
Right.
of it, wow.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, how is it that we are so easy to, adopt generational curses, but we're not taking that same energy to look at the intergenerational knowledge? It's the same. It's coming through the same bloodline.
It's
It's like if you
coming
get the
through the
if you
same.
get the curse, how come you're not also focusing on the knowledge that came? Like it's there.
Because like if you can get the bad, you can get the good. Like why
Right.
can't why
Exactly.
we not looking at the good? We never
Right.
looked at the good.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
okay, so why do you think that is? Why do you think that we have we have been so privy to talking about I mean, we hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about that. But you do not hear people talking about the good part.
No, it's because our mind gravitates more towards negativity than positivity, and it actually takes three positive things to cancel out a negative thing. So if somebody has like a great example, if your husband does something that gets under your skin, right, and you don't want it to turn into a big deal, you're gonna give him three positive things that he does that you enjoy, that you like, and he's gonna be feeling all good, like, oh babe, that's so great, thank you so much. And then that fourth thing is the thing that you actually want him to focus on. And because you've edified him and kind of got him in this great mood and he's feeling loved,
Drop the
that
gems, why
that
don't you?
he's yeah that he's going to be more open to receiving the one thing that you want him to work on because you made him feel good. And so the three positive things balances out the one negative, because if you jump right in with the negative thing, all he's going to hear is, complaining and, you know, all of the negative comments that he's ever received, all of that's
Hmm.
going to come rush into his mind, even though it's not what you mean or you intend, but that's what's going to happen. And so balancing it out with the three positives and then the one thing you want him to focus on or to be more aware of is gonna be a
Ladies,
win-win for
did
be a
y'all
win-win.
but that's what I'm saying. Ladies, did y'all get that? Goodness gracious. Did y'all get that? we're gonna have to charge a fee for that one.
But yeah,
That
that's
was
how our
good.
minds work.
But
Our minds like grab onto negativity and it kind of replays it and holds on to it and ruminates on it. But the positive things, we're just like, okay, yeah, that's great. Okay, yeah, that's great. That's great. But that one negative thing can tear people's egos down, can tear their mental state down. And so always keeping the balance. Um,
that's good.
yeah.
That's good. So, how do you intertwine that into the work that you're doing now with the creative therapy and the dance therapy? Because I know you just bring it all full circle. So I know that's what you're doing. So just tell us how you do
You know I'm doing it. You know I'm doing it. Yeah, like I said, so we do the movement, the dance and the movement, but we also spend time journaling, and we might write some poetry or we might do some music listening. I play a lot of music that has messages, affirmations, really has whatever we're working on. And so the way that the group works is every week we have a different theme. For example, this week our theme was on cultural identity. And so we spent some time talking about how do you know who you are, who told you about who you are and where you come from. And so that turned into, oh, I remember, sleepovers at my grandma's house and me and my cousins and my aunties, we would, just be dancing and sitting around, or, you know, song would come on and oh yeah, I remember this song that my mom played all the time. And so it turned into that kind of thing. And and then it turned into, you know what, we're all living the same life, we all have the same cultural identity because everybody did that, right? And so making those connections around music and culture and dance and um, bringing in some journaling and some poetry, like all of the creativity that comes up in a space like that really helps to bridge the gap in the intergenerational knowledge and knowing, which also builds identity right now for the becoming. And so that's
yes.
how that all comes
Yes.
back to, how
Oh,
does that fit
yes.
into the becoming? It's like remembering so that you can take the remembering of all of those things into the becoming.
That is profound right there. Because as you were talking, I was sitting here thinking about how now that I am in this stage of my life, it has never been more important to me to want to know my
Mm-hmm.
ancestors and just just things about them. I don't care
Yeah.
from like the smallest little pea-sized thing to the larger thing. And having the I really don't like to use the word regret, but I feel like I kind of missed it
Mm.
on asking my grandmothers more questions, about our uh,
Mm-hmm.
their previous generations and
Yeah.
our family history and things like that. What I will say is, my daughters, um,
Mm.
they come to me and they ask, because this generation is different now. So
Right,
they
right,
just they just come with it, guns
right,
blazing. Listen, lady, I need to know X, Y, and Z.
right.
But they come and they ask a lot of questions, and
Mm-hmm.
it really, it stirs something in me to like,
Mm.
yeah, like if especially if I don't have an answer, it's like, dang it, like why didn't I get? Because both of my grandmothers are gone, so
Mm-hmm.
and my mom and them didn't ask the questions, and I believe that. I know I'm all over the place with this, but I'm gonna bring it back to center in a minute. But I feel that the women were not allowed to really talk about certain
Right,
things back
right.
in the day and
Mm-hmm.
ask a lot of
Right.
questions. And I know when I was coming up, like we would be on the stairs, like trying to listen and whatever. But we couldn't be, it was, you better stay out of
Mm.
grown folks' conversations. And,
Exactly.
so we couldn't be all up in the business getting the tea.
Right.
So a lot of stuff we just didn't ask.
Mm-mm.
But I find that I have a yearning and a desire now to want that connection. I
Mm-hmm.
want to know those things. So, yes, that just everything that you said, it just brings you right back to
Yeah.
this is we're all the same.
We're all the same, right? And that is so true. Like we didn't ask those kind of didn't even think to ask those kinds of questions.
Didn't even
Because,
think.
right. And that's another one of those like cultural things, like, oh, you don't talk about certain things. Like ladies don't
Right.
talk about those types of things,
That's
right?
right.
And like you said, the generation now, like I call them the curious generation, they want to know about everything. They don't care who you are. They're
Everything.
gonna
They
ask. They want to know.
everything. Anything and everything they putting it out
Yeah.
there. And I know we talked about it before, even with menopause. It's like, a lot of times they say like you mimic the woman
Mm-hmm.
in your family, at least
Yeah.
one woman in your family. But if they
Right.
never talked about it, then you
Right.
don't even, that's why when we go through it, we like, what the hell is this? Because I didn't, nobody said nothing,
Right.
like I don't have nobody to talk to, and they acting like they didn't happen to them because they didn't talk about it. They didn't have those
Mm-mm.
conversations. So I think, my job with my daughters is to break that cycle,
Yeah.
and to talk and to share and to educate
Mm-hmm.
and answer all the questions that, that I have the answers to.
Right.
So
Right. Because you
that's
have more knowledge now, more awareness, and
that's right.
you can educate them on what you're learning and what you're discovering, even things that you're discovering about yourself. And so when
Yes.
they get to that age and that phase of life, they go, oh yeah, I remember my mom told me that she experienced this thing,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I had my oldest daughter when I was young. I was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking the other day when I was talking to somebody, I said, I'm in menopause and my daughter is 33 and she's
Mm.
having perimenopause symptoms.
Yeah.
So I just told her, I'm like, we need to do a podcast, the mom in menopause and daughter in perimenopause, honey,
Right.
because you hot like me.
Right.
You talk about you got irregular menses and this is going on
Mhm.
and oh my God, mom, I can't lose this weight and da, 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 da. And she's like, am I in perimenopause?
Yeah, she's at that age, and
Yeah,
people don't think about that. It's
they
like, oh
don't think
yeah.
about it. But I'm like, we are here, honey.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
I'm looking at you, you looking at me.
Right.
But she's aware because
Hmm.
we talk about it.
Yeah,
So that's the beauty in it. She's
that's
definitely aware.
beautiful. I
Yeah,
love that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
love
Wow.
that so much. And really talking about perimenopause, I think just from a regular everyday perspective helps a lot of people because there wasn't information, there wasn't education, nobody talked about it, and now everybody's talking about it. And so the more we,
Everybody.
yeah, the more we can get like sound information out there, because people be
Yes.
making up stuff just to have something
Yeah.
to say. Get
Yep.
sound information out there and educate people so that they can advocate for themselves.
That's right.
Because yeah, because even as a young woman going to the doctor, the doctor may be like, oh no, it's not time yet, you're too young. But you know your body, like you are the expert
That's
on
right.
you. You know something is significantly different than what it was before. So being able to
Exactly.
have the education so that you can advocate for yourself, I think is really, really important.
Yep. I think I agree with you 1000%. And I tell the young woman that as much as I can, you have
Hmm.
full autonomy over you.
Right.
And every doctor is not even trained in menopause. So for
Yeah.
them to dismiss you if you're not getting the information that you feel you need or the treatment that you feel you need, then it's on to the next because you
Hmm.
know you better than them.
Right.
And it's, I mean, we know we hear it all the time. First of all, outside of menopause, especially Black women and women of color, we're dismissed any
No.
doggone way, just
Right.
on a regular basis.
Right. It's
So
like,
you go in there
oh,
talking about, yeah, I think I'm in
right.
perimenopause. They're like, get out of here.
Like, yeah,
But
I know you're just complaining or you're just trying to get out of work or it's
yep,
not that bad. And yeah.
that's
Oh yeah.
right. That's
Hmm.
right. But it can start in your early 30s. And
Right.
like you said, we need to get that education out there. It's super important.
And it's also important for your therapist to know. Like I know part of my intake screening when I was taking clients, for my therapeutic side of things, I would always ask when we talked about, date of birth and age, like what symptoms are you noticing right now? Have you noticed anything different? Or if they were in that age, I said, have you had your hormone levels checked like, to get a baseline? So, in 10 years, you can get it done again to see where things are. And so they were like, nobody's ever asked me that before. I don't know. I was like, next time you go for your GYN appointment, ask them to do that so that you can educate yourself and your doctor's also being educated. It's like, okay, these are your baseline hormonal levels right now. We're going to keep an eye on it. If anything shifts in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll know where things stand. So it's like even therapists,
That's
counselors need
huge.
to know that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's huge. And I think to your point, I think any type of medical provider practitioner that you're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be a standard rule of practice that those
Right.
questions are asked. Okay, yes, we didn't know even when I started on my journey 2020. You and I talked about this. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
was talking about menopause back then.
No.
When I started Pretty Moody, it was less than a handful of people that I saw that had platforms that were talking about, menopause. But
Mm-hmm.
now it is more common of a
Right.
conversation. You see it everywhere. They're making tons of money off of it. They're doing commercials. You seeing it in movies now, on TV
Right.
shows. So it's I don't want to say it's become the norm now because I don't think it's all the way there yet, but it's on that trajectory. And because
Mm-hmm.
of that, it should be a staple um, in our the wellness side of our life. Like
Right.
whoever we're seeing, something should be asked of us about where we are with our
Right.
hormones. Period.
Yeah,
Where you at
for
with your
sure.
hormones, girl? Do you know? If you don't know, you need to know.
Exactly. Like, at least start having a conversation.
That's
Like,
right. That's right. But I mean, again, that's why you are just so wonderful because you are already doing that.
thank you
So
so
we need
much.
that.
Thank you. It was important.
Yes.
Like,
Thank you.
yeah, because I would see like my female clients like going through some changes or describing their symptoms. I'm like, how old are you again? Okay, yeah, we might need to look at, you know, the stage of life that you're in. And of course, nobody wants to hear that. There's a lot of denial. There's a lot of like resistance to it. I'm like, okay, I hear that, and I'm not trying to scare you or put anything on you, but it's important for us to have the conversation so at least you
That's
have some
right.
baseline knowledge so you can start recognizing when things are changing. So,
That's right. And I
yeah,
know, it might sound cliche, but knowledge is power.
right.
Like truly. And
It really
especially when it
is.
comes to our health and our wellness and well-being, like we need to know, we need the
Mm-hmm.
education, and we need to understand that we can ask as many questions as we want.
Right. Right. That
Like,
part. That part. Right.
I got some questions, and you're not pushing me out of here in 15 minutes as I done waited two
Right.
hours to get in
Oh
this
my
room.
God. Exactly. Right. It's like, oh no, I have a
Like, I
whole list
got
of
questions.
questions, right? Side
I got a
effects,
whole list of
symptoms.
questions. That's right. That's right. I put and I didn't bring it down here with me, but in the Pretty Moody Journal, I have a whole section on questions to ask your doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then
Love
and
the Pretty
then
Moody Journal.
oh, thank you. And then the place for the notes because number one, by the time you get your appointment, you probably didn't book your appointment 6, 7 months ago
Ah,
before you can
right,
get the appointment. You didn't
right.
forgot half the stuff
Gone.
that you want to say when you go in there. So,
Gone.
ladies, write your question. I don't care if you If you don't have a Pretty Moody journal, you can get it at prettymoody.com. But if you don't
Mhm.
even want the journal, put your notes in your phone or a notebook or another journal somewhere where when you walk in that doctor's office, you can have something to take with you, to
Yes,
give
but get the
them
journal. Get the journal.
get get the journal. But yes, we need that, and we need to be heard and seen and all of those things. Um, but yeah, I want to switch gears real quick. Still talking about mental health, but as a hairstylist, servicing women all day, a lot of women are pretty beat up mentally these days
Mhm.
with all the things that are like going on in the world, in the United States, um, the impact that our economy is having on, our livelihoods and things like
Yeah.
that. Um, what would you say are some of the things that are important for us to do? And I'm speaking to all women, but in particularly for Black women and women of
Mhm.
color. Um, what are some things that are important for us to do to um, keep our mental health intact these days?
Love this. Thank you so much for this question. One of the things that I highly recommend is getting back to your creativity, whatever that is for you. Because once you tap back, and because that's like one of the first thing that goes when people get busy, like, oh, I don't have time to sing, to knit, to sew, to dance, whatever your creative outlet is. Get back to creativity because that will be your outlet mentally, um, because that fires off the happy endorphins, and it fires off, the joy and the energy to do other things. Once you get back to creativity, how can you maximize that? Like, I'm not saying you have to start a business, but how can you maximize that? Could you start a community? If knitting is your thing, start a little group. Come and knit
Like that.
together, and so that way, being in space with other people will also increase that energy and that connection. Because that's the first thing we do. We stop doing the things that make us happy, and we isolate, right? And so taking
Yep.
your hobby or your creative niche and partnering with other people who also love to do that thing will increase the energy and also create community. So those are like the two main things that I would suggest. Now, if you can turn and you have the capacity to turn your creativity into a business, girl, go ahead and do that. Because
I know that's
you
right.
right, you never know where it will take you, and that thing might take off because that might be your calling in this season of your life, right? You've worked at the same place for 20 plus years, or you've done the same type of job for 20 plus years, and it may be time to sunset it. Like I said, I'm a therapist, but I've been in the game for 30 plus years. And so I felt like I no longer wanted to do therapy in the same way I was doing it. So I closed my practice, but I'm still using my skills, see, in a different type of business. So what
Yes.
do you already have in your hand, metaphorically, that you can do that not only brings you joy, but put some money in your pocket? Like, what do you
I
know
love
that you
that.
could teach other people that they will pay you? It doesn't have to be paying you $10,000, but even if somebody's willing to pay you $10, if you get 100 people paying you $10, you have 1,000. Like, come on, girl, let's get this.
Yes, that's
Like,
right. That's
use
right.
what you know and what you have that already brings a smile to your face and brings you some joy. So
I
that's
love that. I love that. And that's spot on because that is like I love I love anything decor, like decorating and
mm-hmm,
remixing furniture and just I love all those things. But I have realized that I kind of got away from that,
mm-hmm,
just being thrown into all the other roles and things that life has been lifing at us.
Right.
So you do kind of like, and I miss doing those things.
Mhm.
And I started making some little changes around the salon just to kind of like, it was time. It was like, okay, we've been here a little while. Now it's time to just switch things up a little bit.
Mhm.
And it felt so good. And I was like, I miss this. So
Yes.
that's so spot on. Yes.
Yes.
Because you just don't like, I love it. So it doesn't feel like work, you know.
Right.
I'm designing, I'm creating, and
Mhm.
that's my happy space. So that's good. I
Yeah.
love that.
And it could be whatever the thing is. It could be doing makeup. Like if you enjoy doing your makeup, start doing like little tutorials because you'd be surprised. Like a lot of women have no
What?
idea how to do their makeup, but
That's
they may,
exactly right.
may admire how you do yours, especially at this age, because your makeup needs to change with the season of life that you're in. Like you should not be
That's right.
doing what you did when you were 20 right now. Same
Absolutely
makeup.
not.
But yeah, like
No.
stuff like that. Like even your hair, like so many people don't think about what they could do with their hair. Like go
Right.
to
And
Rush. Go to
I love your
Rush.
haircut too, by the way. Thank you. I love your haircut too. So cute.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
You're
do
looking
something
good, baby.
different.
You're looking good.
Thank you, girl. But that's what I'm saying. Like reinvent yourself. Like
Yes.
reinvent yourself and reintroduce yourself to you.
Yep. And now is the time. Now, not later.
Hmm.
Now is the time.
Now's the time. And I think you and I, speaking of hair, I think we talked about this one time before. It's like people who haven't seen me in a long time, they're like, oh my God, I've never seen you with dark hair because I was like the bleach blonde hair forever and a day. So people know me
Yes, I
for my
remember you
blonde
said that.
hair.
Yes.
Right. And so, and I just got tired of fighting with my gray hair. So I was like, all right, you win. I'm over it. So,
Like, and so many women that are coming into the salon now, in this phase that we are in our
mhm,
lives, they're like, this is what it is. And
right.
I'm like, well, let's rock it on out then. Let's
Hey.
do this. That's right. Like
Yeah.
embrace it. If that is where you are and that's what you loving and then where you loving to be, embrace it.
Hmm. So
Do
all
it
the
10 toes
things,
down.
do
Yes.
it. And
Yes.
especially now the season is changing. I know people like to garden. So
Mm-hmm.
start you a little gardening club or whatever, or you just get out and, do your own garden. And if you live in an apartment, do some, window plants or whatever.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep. I
get
love
back
it.
to
Pots.
things that you
I,
love.
that's exactly right. I love this. I love this. Oh man. I think our time is coming. I don't want it to be over
Oh,
because we can go on and on and
I
on.
know.
But is there anything that we didn't get to that you wanted to add in here tonight?
There is one last thing, like if you don't remember anything else that we talked about, but I know you should just watch the video 10 million times and send it to everybody else so they can watch it too. But
That's right. That's
but
exactly right.
the key takeaway is that everything comes back to your mental health. Because if you are not well mentally, it's going to be extremely difficult um, to have success and joy and you know happiness and capacity to do anything else if you're mentally not there. So just remember that everything affects your mental health. So taking care of your mental health should be priority, just like washing your face and brushing your teeth.
Absolutely. 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 That's a mic drop right there. Like, really. Before we go, can you tell everybody where they can get more information on your dance therapy class? I know we plugged it in the beginning, but if you
Mm-hmm.
can give them the information and your social media, they the people y'all really have to see this and understand what's happening. Like really. Follow Dr. Grayson on social media. Can you give them your social media handles and your
Yes,
information?
I am at Angela M Grayson on all social media. So that's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I'm actually putting up a YouTube channel so I can just record some videos with meditations and affirmations and
Beautiful.
some dance therapy stuff. So that's coming.
I
So
love it.
yep, Angela M. Grayson on all social media outlets. And if you are interested in registering for the dance therapy group, you can find the registration on wilmingtonballet.org website.
That is beautiful. Dr. Grayson, I love you.
I love you too. This is
Thank you
always
for
such a
blessing us.
joy.
Yes, it is. And thank you for just always bringing your love and your expertise to the Pretty Moody podcast, hot AF, because that's what we are in more ways than one. But until next time, and there will be a next time, Dr. Grayson will be back because we have a lot more to unpack. Yes. Thank you so much and have a great evening, everyone. Good night.